Gamers, today's heist is on Lee's Chemicals. This is another 16 objective heist. We have 60 seconds to collect all 16 of the objectives, but 60 seconds was too easy. We're doing it in 40 seconds. As always, whenever an objective is collected or its tether is broken, the timer will start. Let me show you the plan. We're starting in the bottom right of the map at the power station. We'll move up and then circle through the map and back down to the escape boat. It kind of looks like a ghost. Or... never mind. Anyways, let's hop into the preparation phase. I started in the bottom right of the map. I shot a couple of holes in the ceiling and moved the chest through it to get it in line with the route. Once upstairs, I took off this door so it wouldn't get in the way and lined up the chest in the entryway where the door was. I moved what would be the first chest closer to the second chest to shorten the route, and then prepared a plank on the outside of the building to jump off towards the dam. I was having trouble moving the chest up onto the walkway, so I removed the handrail with the blowtorch and easily moved the chest up onto the concrete that way. Next, I climbed the tower where the fourth chest is and destroyed part of the window with a blowtorch and stuck the chest out of the window. I also used some planks in order to get up to that window. Quick speed plank tech right there. I've been getting better at that and it's super satisfying. I stuck the chest out the window to be able to grab it when I jump by. Moving on, the next chest in an office in the corner of this large horizontal manufacturing building. I blew a hole in the exterior wall and placed some planks climbing up a lamppost and scaling the side of the building. I carefully positioned the chest hanging out the side of the building so I could grab it when I run up the planks. I also used a plank to hold that chest to the wall so it doesn't fall and break its tether. I continued making planks up the side of the building and shot the edge of the roof off in order to have a clear walkway up. This large tower building in the center of the map contained a chest at the top. Thankfully, accessing it was easy. I destroyed the wall, pulled the chest outside, and used a plank to make sure it didn't fall down. I stepped back and placed a plank to make the run a little easier, and then I moved on to the next chest. I started by blowing a hole in the ceiling to get access. Then I used an explosive to destroy the window on the side of the building that I would have to travel through in order to get to the next chest. A couple of planks to get across the gap, and I was ready to make a hole in the wall to access the next chest. I made a small hole with the pistol from the inside of the building that was a little more directed so I didn't accidentally destroy the tether point, and then I used the shotgun from the outside to open up the wall more. I also removed this beam so it wouldn't get in the way. For the next chest, I used a couple of planks to get myself over to this office building. My plan was to enter through the window. I knocked out the window with my sledgehammer and then used a couple more planks to even out my path so I didn't fall. I placed one more plank on the inside so I didn't fall down the staircase and moved on. I destroyed another window on the other side of the office building, then I positioned the chest in the doorway between the windows. I placed a plank to climb out of the building, then started making an access point in the next building for its chest. I blew a hole in the corner of this vertical manufacturing building using its propane tanks, and then I used a shotgun to clean up the edges. I placed planks back to the office building from the manufacturing building, and then I used a second one just to make sure I wouldn't fall. I carefully positioned the chest and attached a plank to it so it couldn't break its tether when I dropped it down the hole. It slowly started to slip down and it was stretching the tether pretty hard, so I placed another plank to the wall just to make sure it wouldn't break. On the other side of the manufacturing building, I blew a hole in the wall and placed a plank so I could run out that side of the building. I used a bomb to blow up the corner of the utility building in the top right of the map. I moved the chest so it would be easier to retrieve, and moved on to the garage building. I blew a hole in the wall, allowing me to run straight up the staircase where the chest is located. I used a shotgun to make a hole in the wall, and positioned the chest next to it so I can grab it while I jump out of the building. I destroyed these 2 trees so I can get a vehicle just a little bit closer for when I jump out of the garage building. The small office building has a chest in it, so I blew up the wall closest to where I'd drive in the vehicle from. Inside the office, I surgically removed its front door so I wouldn't have to worry about it when I run through. I made an entry hole in this storage building, and then moved its chest to the left so I could pick it up when I run past. Then I used another bomb to make my exit to get to the generator building. I used another plank to hold a chest. I dropped it through the floor, and then used an extra plank to make sure its tether didn't break. Finally, I blew up the side of the generator building. I moved the chest a little closer to my entry point to save a tenth of a second, and I was ready to prepare my way to the boat. The only thing that was in the way was this container with large crates in it. I used a couple of bombs to blow it up and get it out of the way. With that, I was ready for my first attempt at the run. My first attempt at the run had some errors, but I was able to complete the run in just under 50 seconds. Knowing that there was some room for improvement, I gave it another attempt and finished it in just under 45 seconds. But I knew that with a couple quick changes, I'd be able to get myself under 40 seconds. I started at the beginning of the route looking for places to improve. Since with my blue tide I was able to jump most of the way to the third chest on the dam, I added a plank to the railing to give myself a shortcut to save time. Instead of running around this hill to get up to the tower, I made a series of planks to allow me to run straight up the side. Another speed plank, and I had a clear path up the side of the hill. To get to the fourth chest on the tower, I used a couple more planks to make a more direct path to save another tenth of a second. I moved forward down the route for a while before I found something else to improve upon. I decided that dropping to this chest down in the building probably wasn't efficient, and that it could get moved up to the roof where I'd be able to grab it as I jump past and move on towards the next chest. I positioned it steadily on the roof and moved on. I expanded the planks going to the office building into more of a web so I could take a direct route through the center. In the vertical manufacturing building, I ran around a lot of the walls. I decided that if I ran directly through the building towards the utility building, it would be quicker. So I used some bombs, made a couple new holes in the walls, and placed some planks to run straight through the middle. I positioned a small box behind the utility building chest to cancel my momentum so I don't overshoot it. In the garage building, I opened up the wall a bit more with the shotgun so I'd be able to grab the chest without getting stuck on the walls. I shot down a power pole so it wouldn't get in the way of my vehicle, and at the end of the route, I destroyed a staircase so I wouldn't get stuck behind it like I had earlier. And with that, I was ready to attempt the run again. I was just barely over my 40-second threshold, but my next attempt was able to save just enough time.